And hello.
Hello. So I am Szara.
And I'm Helen. And we actually have a question for you today. Uh-oh, we lost Szara. So I'll ask the question.
I'm back.
Great. So the question today is, are you waiting for this to be over?
Yeah, are you waiting it to end?
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I noticed for myself, it's there's a bit of this pause, right? Like there's this pause. We're all in this pause. Life looks really kind of different right now for many people, and it looks different in different ways. And I notice I catch myself like there's a lot that's paused, even thinking that's going to happen. Like, what are we doing for the summer? What are we doing for the winter? What are our plans? What's the career aspect? What's the finances? Like, there's so much that we don't know because
Mm-hmm.
of this pause that I find myself almost frozen,
Mm.
you know? And inside of that, it's like there's this waiting. It's like, well, a resignation. There's this like, well, what what are we to do? Like family plans or
Mm-hmm.
vacations or time together. I guess we'll see.
Mm. That's so brilliant because I am really full on in my life doing stuff, but man, am I waiting for what the summer's going to look like, what the fall's going to look like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you know, some events happened in my family last night where or you know, a degree of separation in my family where, you know, somebody did die of a heart attack.
Mm.
And it got me really present to holy crap, life is still freaking happening. You know, like life is actually still real. And although like we're paused inside this pandemic and you know, we have like we're being very careful for COVID or the reaction of that, and we're braced for what's going to happen with all of that, all of the rest of life is also still happening.
Mm.
And it just got me really present to, you know, how do we approach each moment or how do we approach each day? And there's like this general way we tend to live, or I at least find myself, I tend to live that there's going to be another day, there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be another week, there's going to be another month, there's
Mm-hmm.
next year, there's tomorrow, there's next month. And yeah, and it just has me not as available or not as in this moment right now, not like making it for what it could be, like really like it's like I take it for granted
Mm.
almost,
I love
like I
that.
really take it for granted.
Yeah.
And it's like here I am in this like an opportunity to be in one of the suites at like our old house, which is like a really special thing for me.
Mm.
And it's almost to like at first it was like really shiny and new, it was like, oh, this is so special. And it's like I notice already I'm like taking this for granted, I'm taking these moments with the kids for granted, I'm getting stuck in like also too like all the shoulds, like you know we talked the last couple of days about expectations.
Expectation.
I know it's like all these expectations of like, you know, some people are dealing with, you know, managing school or working from home. And so it's all these like shoulds. And it's like, well, this has to get done and these checklists need to get done and these things need to get managed and food needs to get on the table. It needs to be healthy food on the table. And it becomes all of these things to do and these things to get done. And you just it takes me. Like it's just like it's like I get hooked and like pulled on this train of like
Mm.
doing, and because I have to or I should or that's the right thing to do, that like I kind of forget the impermanence, the temporariness that is actually our reality.
Yeah. I really hear that. We get sucked into, and it's interesting, even though we've had this big change up, we still find ourselves kind of sucked into the drudgery of having to do.
Yeah. And it's funny, yeah, it is. It's hilarious because like this whole, you know, COVID-19 thing, the biggest thing it's been is like a major interruption, which
Mm-hmm.
like, one thing I love is I love interruptions. Like an interruption, because all of everything I'm about is really like, you know, for some people that know me, it's like, you know, love like it's your last day, or really like, you know, it's like I always say my currency is moments. Like I don't have
Mm-hmm.
currency of money. My currency is moments. Like, and it's all about these moments. And I just know the importance of that and how much life lives inside of that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's great. And so I was like, in some ways, I like the whole COVID-19 experience. It's an interruption to that ordinary. It's an
Yes.
interruption to the roteness. It's an interruption of like that busyness for us to like pause and stop and get this opportunity. And at first it was like that.
Exactly.
And now we're in, I don't know, what are we, week 6, 7,
I don't know.
something like that. I don't know. I'm not even counting. And it's become the like a new normal. It's become
It
the
is.
new roteness. It's
Yeah.
become like waiting and not knowing. It's like, well, I guess that's just the way it is. And I don't know what to create. And there's like a dullness that's actually
Mm,
kind of coming up. And
yeah.
and a drudgery is right back again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You can hear the aliveness isn't there, right? What it gave us.
yeah,
Yeah. That aliveness is gone. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like, and I look with my kids and my family and like what I'm creating. And it's like, am I going through the motions or
Mm,
am I loving like my last day?
mm.
Like,
Sorry, can you just create that again? Because it's really powerful and maybe not everybody knows about it. Like what that is love like it's your last day.
yeah, this whole idea, and it is specifically love and not live. Love like it's your last day. If this was our last day, like often we live like there's a tomorrow, right?
Mm,
Like that we take for granted this moment right now. We often like, I have another year, I have another month, and we get caught up, but we get very focused on this roteness or our doing or our like results and outcomes. And it's this whole idea of like, you know what, if this was your last day, if you only had a day, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever you want to pick as your time to live, how the heck would you honestly live it?
mm,
But more importantly, how would you be with the people around you?
mm-hmm,
Right? Like what would be an expression of your love? What are the things you love to do? What are the people thing who would you love to be? What are the kind of conversations you would love to have? Who would you pick up the phone and call and have that conversation with? What are the things left unsaid? What
mm,
are the things like you would just love to share? What would you love your kids to even know about yourself or your life, or what is your legacy?
mm,
It's this whole world of like love like it's your last day. Like you really don't know when your last day is. And imagine like just every day putting your head on your pillow being like so filled up. Like I loved full out today.
mm,
I loved my life. I loved the people in it. I loved my experiences. I loved the moments and I cherished it. I really got that full, alive, lit up experience. And I am satisfied and fulfilled that if it was my last day, thank you, life.
mm,
And inside of that there's such an opportunity to just embrace the moments and even embrace the craziness, the messiness, the fear, the uncertainty, even the waiting, right?
mm.
Like, okay, we
Yeah.
are waiting here. There is a lot we don't know. There's not a lot we can do about it. Like,
No,
this
there
is
really
a
isn't.
suggestion to go force something along, but imagine it's like, well, today is today. Today is today, and it's what I have. And
Yeah.
like, what would I do with today? What would I
Mm,
create today? How would I live and love today? Who would I be? What would my kids like, especially because family is so near and dear to my heart? Like if I look at Love Like Your Last Day, my family is a huge giant part of that. My last day involves my freaking family and being with my kids. And like, what
mm-hmm,
would I want my kids left with?
mm,
If like, if tomorrow wasn't there, what
mm-hmm,
would I really want them left with today? And it would be to be loved up and
mm-hmm,
heard and just,
mm-hmm.
cherished.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other thing that I'm hearing so loudly is not being said is loving and cherishing you. That you love and cherish you.
Hmm. Yeah, like the inside of that's a celebration of who I am and who you are. And like
Mm-hmm,
by loving, it's like a loving of yourself too. It's like, you know what, you are a gift. We each are this gift on this planet for this very freaking brief moment of time. And and we give so much to each of our kids. And so many times we cut that down. We chop
mm-hmm,
it up and we're not present
mm-hmm,
to it.
mm-hmm,
And like you are such a gift to your children, period. And yes, you're not perfect. And yes, there's been this, that, or the other thing, but you are a freaking gift. You're going to be missed. You're going to be thought of.
mm,
You're going to be remembered, like, yeah. And to just really embrace that and embrace the beauty you are and what you've actually brought and given to your family and
yeah.
your children.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's like a day of celebration.
It really is.
Yeah. Like imagine too, like, okay, here we are waiting. And imagine we like literally celebrated this day, celebrated this moment, celebrated all of who you were. And it's like, how would I show up to my day distinctly then?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
And it's like, and the first thing would be, and it's like, and it's kind of what I originally wanted to talk about on this call. It's like giving yourself a freaking break.
Yeah.
Give yourself a huge break. Like, yes, there's some things that need to get done. There's certain things that are have to's in life. Sure. There's certain things, you know what? Make sure your kids are fed. You know, make sure there's some kind of food around that they can scavenge for themselves and make sure that they're fed, you know? But like cut yourself a break. Like we don't have to perform. We don't have to like do everything, and we don't have to be perfect, and we don't have to do it all right, and we
Mm.
don't have to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
And if we could
Yeah.
give all that stuff up, like how could we love today? How could we love ourselves, and how could we love our kids?
You know, I just here actually, and if we actually were to look at all those things you were just saying, to give all those things up, the freedom that there would be, like the less weight there would be, and the less resistance to stuff, right?
Mm.
There's
I
actually
even
been, yeah.
I even hear like just the gift it is for the kids too, because often, right, like we do create the environment. We're very powerful in our homes, right? Like
Mhm.
as a parent, we really set a lot of the tones.
Yes.
And like when I am driving or when I am hooked and when I'm just like things need to be a certain way, like the kids then react and respond to that, right? Like then
Mhm.
for them, they're like a bit like, okay, no, it needs to look like this and it needs to happen
Mhm.
like this. And they're kind of
Mhm.
like responding from that and reacting from that. And like giving all that up and just like cutting myself a break. It's like gives them space. They get to cut themselves a break. They
Yeah.
get to exhale. You know, they get to like, wow, if there wasn't anything that we had to accomplish today or get done, what would what would they create?
Mm.
What would they get up to?
Mm.
What would they be interested in doing?
Mm. But I hear the space and aliveness in it, right?
Yeah, yeah. And autonomy.
Mm.
I
Nice.
really hear I really hear like often the driver that I am can just drive everyone to have to do my agenda. And it's like, and that's not what I want. That's actually directly against the commitment that I have for my kids and my family. And it's like, what's really important to me is that each person really gets to create their day, really gets to create the stuff they want to take on, really gets to be themselves, and they're all unique and they each get to be celebrated. So
Mm.
imagine that autonomy when I'm not driving things. It's like, what would it look like? And they get to say, and they get to create, and they get to
Mm.
play, and they get to have it their way too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if we gave ourselves a break, actually
Give
pause.
ourselves a big break. Pause.
Mm.
Stop waiting. Just pause. Yeah. And and you know, I invite you to embrace the philosophy, like love like it's your last day. Like, you know, life is still happening right now. The world is still going around.
And things are still happening, and we still have the same ways of like things showing up, right?
Yeah. and and we also have the opportunity more than ever right now to really connect with people and to
Mm.
be with our people,
Yes.
and you know, our extended family and our friends, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, our kids friends, and like just all these circles of communities that we're
Mm-hmm.
actually part of. And like what would it be like if, you know, today wasn't out to like get a whole bunch of results done,
Mm.
but it was like to go and be with the people that I love and be now, be in this
Yeah.
moment, and
Yeah.
really
Like
embrace
lap
it for
up
all
the
that's awesome.
moment, right? Like
Yeah.
really.
Lap it up.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really beautiful. That would be
Wouldn't
a great Friday. That would be a
it? I
fantastic
like that.
Friday. It would set up a whole great weekend.
Mm.
Lapping it all up on this May 1st.
Yeah. I'm in lapping.
I'm into. What a great way to start May.
I know. Come on.
Yeah, it's our time. It's our
It is.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking that on today.
I'm going to go and lap it up today. All the bits.
Lap it. Ooh, awesome. Well, and like I invite anyone here, like, how are you enjoying the moment? How are you creating? How are you savoring this moment and lapping it all up? Like,
Mm.
share a picture, share some fun, like anything that you see that would
Mm.
contribute and give us somebody else, like, ooh, that's a exciting way to lap this up. Why not be in
Yeah.
conversation about it?
Mm.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
All
Great.
right.
So, Sarah and I here Monday to Friday, 12:30 Pacific time. Come
Yes.
and join us. If you
Come
have
and join
something
us.
Specific.
And what I hear that I'd like to do, and I haven't brushed this over with you, but I think this is a good idea. Let's
Good.
post the link to Zoom prior to our call, and whoever would like to join our call and conversation can come on live with us and be part of the
It's
conversation.
exciting. Yeah.
Because the more the merrier inside of this
Okay.
conversation.
Of course. Yeah.
So look for a few minutes before we go on for a link so that you can join right into our live Zoom.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Okay.
See you till next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.